Can I ask what happened between you and that midwife, Bojena? I heard you banished her from the village because of some mishap with your wife.
That was no mishap. The witch killed my son and damned him to hell.
Wait a moment. Start from the beginning. What do you mean she killed and damned your son?
My wife, Ludmilla, gave birth to 3 daughters. Quick and easy every time. The village women often scream all day and night before they bring their babies into the world. Not my Ludmilla. When she had Marushka, it was all over before the midwife even got here. But when Yaroslav was coming into the world, you know, I knew already I'd finally have a son. I never sent for no help. Why would I? After all, Ludmilla done it all on her own 3 times. And besides, that Bojena is an unclean woman and a witch. Only this time, something went wrong. Of course, I wasn't there. Being a God-abiding man, I was outside. But Marushka comes running out, shouting, "Pa, send for Bojena! Ma's poorly!" I thought twice about it, but then I sent for her. She came along with a little girl, Pavlena, and a whole sack of herbs. She started brewing right away, and before the night was out, she was pouring God knows what kind of concoction down Ludmilla's throat. It's a wonder she didn't poison her, the crone. I couldn't get a wink of sleep all night. It wasn't till daybreak that Bojena came out of the house, carrying in her arms. They could see right off it was a boy. Like I said, only Yaroslav came out feet first. And as they were pulling him out, well, he was all Mother of God. I can't even say it. It was that Bojena's doing, I tell you. If she hadn't pulled him out and left Ludmilla to manage herself, he could have lived.
So you still blame her for it?
And why shouldn't I? I haven't told you the half of it yet. I asked the priest, and he told me every midwife has the sacred right to perform baptism when things go wrong. Like when it looks bad for the child, see? She can baptize him, make sure he gets to heaven. And you know what Bojena did?
What?
Not a thing. She looked at that little body lying still and didn't do a damn thing. And my wife died a few hours later. So I'm sure you understand what I did after. That same evening, I got the other fellas from the village, and we drove that damned witch out beyond the boundary stone.
I see. She lives in the woods now.
A good thing, too. She hasn't shown up here since. Many times I told myself we should have done more to her, so she'd know how I felt.
Listen, Bojena's daughter has gone missing, and I get the feeling from what you're saying that you're not exactly unhappy about it. So I'll ask you straight up. Do you know anything about it? Do you want to hurt Pavlena to pay Bojena back for the death of your son?
I understand why you might think that, but I would never do anything like that. Don't tell nobody, but since Ludmilla died, I go weak at the knees if I only see blood. It's like I'm standing next to her bed, again like that time. I never want to see a corpse again in my life. Besides, if I wanted to get my own back on Bojena, I'd never take it out on her daughter. The girl's not to blame for anything. She was only little when it happened. I curse that old hag often enough. When I've had a drink or two, I wish the worst on her, so she'd know how I feel. But as God is my witness, I'd never stoop to murder on account of it.
Farewell, good sir.